Hello and a very good everyone. So today we will learn on how we can use Power Query to actually understand our data, whereby we want to only capture vendors which has M&A payment, and we want to calculate the total payment status for each vendors that has M&A status. In this particular file, if you notice, we do have a table which has date, transaction code, vendors, payment status, posting amount. So from this given data, what we want to do is we want to actually capture vendors which has M&A status only. Vendors which has M&A status only, and then for vendors which has M&A status, we want to show the total of each payment status. So normally if just say I want to use a pivot table, I'll press Ctrl A, and then what I want to do is I'll just go to insert, pivot table, and then I press OK. So once I press OK, what I'll do is I'll just take the vendor, I take the posting amount, and then I want to put the payment status at column. So in this case, what my manager wants is my manager wants to see a data which has the M and A status, not the A status, not data which has M status. So it's just both A and M. So how we want to actually compute this kind of data? So let's get started. So instead of just only having A status or M status, the manager wants to see the data that has M and A. So in this case, what I'll do is I'll try to use Power Query to show this report. So I'm going to delete this, and then let's get started. So in this case, what I do is I press Ctrl A. When you press Ctrl A, it will highlight the entire table. So there is a misconception. You don't have to put your cursor over here. You put your cursor on the table and press Ctrl A. When you press Ctrl A, it will highlight the entire table. And then what you do is you go to Data ribbon and you click from Table/Range. Once you click from Table/Range, you will notice that a box will appear. As shown over here, a box will appear. By pressing OK, you will be navigated to Power Query Editor. So in this Power Query is where we will do the data transformation, because we only want to capture the data, the payment status which has M and A only. So what I need to do is I need to do grouping. So I'll just go to Group By. Okay, we have Group By located under the Home ribbon, or also Transform. Over here also got Group By. Either you can go here or you can also go over here. You click over here, you will notice that a box will appear. So what I want to do is I want to do grouping based on vendor and payment status. So if you want to do grouping more than one, you click at once, and then over here I just click vendor, go to add grouping, I click for payment status. Okay, and then over here I'll just put the posting amount. So I want the sum and posting amount. So the sum for posting amount, so I'll put over here USD, and I press OK. By pressing OK, in this case what happened is it will actually show us what is the data. So if just say I sort the data, you will notice that some data, for example like AC Milan, AS Roma, it has A, it has M only. But data like Arsenal, it has AM, Atletico Madrid has MA, Barcelona has AM, and some data they only have A, some data they only have M. But my manager, he wants to see data which has A and M. So in this case, what we need to do is we need to do some combination. So I'll just go to Group By again. In this case, what I will actually do is I will try to actually group by the vendor, and I'll put here sum, but not the sum of USD, instead the sum of payment status. Bear in mind, we can actually calculate the sum if the data is in the number format, in the numbers. But if just say we have is in a text format, so it will have an error. But regardless, I'll just want to put sum of payment status, and then over here I'll just put here the status. You can actually put the full name, payment status, but I want to put here status. So since we have ABC which is in a text format, so when I put some payment status and I press OK, you will notice right now it will show error. Don't worry, this error because we cannot calculate the sum for payment status. So I need to actually remove the list sum right here, Text.Combine. And then over here, instead of I just press enter, I need to actually combine with, I put here comma, apostrophe, comma. That means it combine with the separator of comma. And then I press here tick. When I press here tick, you will notice that some data has M, some data has A, but there are also companies which has M and A or A and M. So in this particular case, what we do is we will just filter out whichever which is not relevant. So for this case, I don't want company that has A only. I don't want a company that has M only. Instead, I want a company that has the status of AM and M and A. So this is the data. Then what I need to do is I need to actually split the data. So split column, delimiter, you will notice a box will appear. So what I'm going to do is I want to actually split by a comma, but not actually on each occurrence, not by column. Instead, I want to split by row. And I press OK, and just like that we have the data. The good news is we are able to capture vendors which has the status of M and A. But what if just say your manager wants to know what is the total from Arsenal M status, Arsenal A status, and so on. So in this case, what we will do is we will try to use merge query to actually combine. So I'm going to press here right click, and I want to duplicate this. So this one I'll just remove this until we have the original data, which is over here. So this is the original data. What I'm going to do is I want to use merge query. So go to merge query. So this is table 1, and I'm going to choose table 2, table 1, 2. I'm not able to press OK because we never select the common column. So I press vendor and then shift status. You must use your two hands. One hand press vendor, another hand press shift and click on status. And I press vendor, shift payment status. So you'll notice the selection matches 22 out of 22, and I'm going to press OK. Just like that, we do have this data. So now when I expand this, so just say I untick this and I press OK. So you can notice we have already matched this. So basically you can actually, what you can do is you can also unselect these two columns like vendor and payment status. But why I expand all? Just to show you that it has matches the data. So in this particular context, what you can do is you can actually sort by vendor, and then for each vendor you can have this status sort by status, and just like that. So now we have a status over here and we have the amount over here. So I'm going to remove this column, not necessary. So now this is our report. You can actually press close and load. It will actually load as a table in a new sheet. What you can do is you can just click it over here, close and load to. Once you press close and load to, you will notice a box will appear. I'm going to press only create connection and I'm going to press OK. So over here we have table 1, table 1, 2. So I'm going to go to a new sheet and I'm going to press right click over here. Use your mouse, press right click and you press load to. When you press load to, you can actually load in many different formats, whether it's pivot table or table and so on. So you just say I want to show to my manager maybe in a pivot table format, pivot table, and then I just press OK. So when I press OK, you will notice that it appears in a pivot table format. And then from here, what you can do is you can actually tick the USD, and then you can actually put the vendor at the rows, the status at the columns. So from here, the manager can see the report. So you just say the manager don't want pivot table. Instead, the manager wants in a normal table format. What you can actually do is you go to data, clicks on queries and connection. So instead of pivot table, you can press here right click, you press here load to. So my manager don't want pivot table, he wants the normal table format. You click the table, you press OK, and you press OK. Eventually it will appear as a table format. So it's depending on how you can actually present to your management. So from here, what we learn is we not only can able to capture vendors which has M&A status, but we can also show the total for each payment status for the vendors which has M&A status.